Welcome to Porsche's first sports car for four. I'm Jamie Howe.
And I'm David Donahue. For the next couple of minutes, we're going to take you on a tour of the Porsche Panamera.
There's a lot to digest in this piece of engineering, but it truly combines Porsche's sports car DNA and the spacious driving comfort of a luxury sedan. The Panamera is Porsche's first four-door car and the first all-new vehicle since the company introduced the Cayenne in 2002. While the car went on sale in the US in October of 2009, many are just now getting the chance to see and experience this new vehicle.
From a technical standpoint, Porsche engineers rose to the challenge to build a car that covered all the bases in terms of sportiness and comfort. We're standing outside of the car, so let's start here. At 55.8 inches high and 76 inches wide, the Panamera is lower, wider, and more aggressive than its competitors. In fact, the relationship between its width and its height make it more aggressive than even the 911 Carrera.
Not only does the Panamera incorporate and reinterpret classic Porsche themes, but it offers a dynamic and powerful look despite the generous space of the interior.
With Porsche elements like a low air intake instead of a traditional grille, raised front fenders, the sloped hood, iconic headlights, the rear hips, its silhouette, spoiler, and exposed tailpipes, there's no mistaking it's a Porsche. Form follows function, and there's a reason for the rear shape. Rear seat comfort was a design priority, especially since in many markets, like China, this is a chauffeur-driven car. Why don't you take a seat?
Sitting here, you notice the luxurious interior with the enormous amount of headroom. That's because of the car's low seats, the deep footwells, and the sculpted headliner. You'll also notice the console extending back to here, with the higher than normal height. That's because of the car's overall low height and its low center of gravity. The transmission and drivetrain are actually right underneath this console.
Speaking of the transmission, using Porsche's revolutionary new 7-speed PDK gearbox, the Panamera is the first car in its class with a double-clutch transmission. Now let's take a look up front. You'll immediately notice the key being on the left side. This is a signature Porsche design element. At first glance, the interior console looks like it has a lot of buttons, and it does, but they're laid out in a logical manner. As a driver, I appreciate the fact that Porsche tries hard to keep the driver's eyes on the road. The owner will quickly learn the locations of these necessary functions, making it easier and safer than scrolling through menus that force your eyes to look at the center display and not the road.
Porsche mounted a multifunction display just right of the center-mounted tachometer in the gauge cluster. This way the driver can access and use key features including navigation, radio, telephone, and vehicle information without having to look at the center display.
The driver can manage all those functions using the thumb wheels and switches on the wheel, so your hands always stay on the steering wheel.
Just above the gear selector in the center stack is the lock-unlock button. Now I know many cars have this on the door, but all of Porsche's current sports cars and the next generation Cayenne have it right here, so it only makes sense for the Panamera too as well.
Navigation should be easy, no matter where you're going. All Porsche cars now use touchscreens. This car also has an iPod connector in the center console, Bluetooth telephone, and satellite radio, with all functions managed through the touchscreen or the thumb wheels on the steering wheel.
The overhead buttons are self-explanatory. The one you may need if you're in traffic is the manual off switch for the parking centers, which is here. Front and rear sensors are standard on the Turbo, and rear sensors are standard on the S and the 4S. This is a new parking system. If you get close to an object, it'll bring up an overhead image of the Panamera on the LCD and will encircle in yellow or red, if it's really close, the quadrant that is close to an object. Other buttons are for the lights and home link.
A standard feature is the auto start-stop function. In US cars, the default is off position because Porsche believes the US customers will want to control this function themselves. So if you want to activate it, you'll have to press this button after starting the car. The light on this switch will not be illuminated when the system is activated. which is the opposite of the other buttons. The auto start stop will turn off the engine when the car stops, like in traffic or at a light, to reduce fuel consumption and emissions. But the car is smart and it knows when not to activate the system. For example, it won't work if you have accessories running, like if you have the AC running full blast and it's hot outside, or if you're on an incline. But it's a bit weird at first because you think the car is stalled, but as soon as you release the brake pedal or step on the throttle, the car starts right up and you're on your way.
Porsche designed the Panamera to be very unique. Most consider its competitors to be the BMW 7 Series, the Mercedes S-Class and AMG versions, and the Audi S8 and A8. While the Maserati Quattroporte and the Aston Martin Repeat are luxury and performance competitors, their lower sales targets put them in a different category.
Porsche is different from BMW, Mercedes, and Audi in that the Panamera was designed from the ground up to provide Porsche performance and luxury, where the others take their basic cars, albeit world-class luxury cars, and upgrade the performance through their tuning divisions. So performance is the first order, yet Porsche stepped very much outside its box in the luxury department. Keep this in mind as the Panamera's ride is not a cushy one like the others, yet very comfortable, and certainly you should find the handling and acceleration to be a pure Porsche experience. The Porsche engineers made sure this car could drive like a Porsche. The Panamera's low center of gravity, rigid structure, and use of many lightweight materials like aluminum and magnesium help in this department. Other confidence-inspiring standard features include Porsche's stability management and outstanding brakes also add to the car's active safety resume.
While the Panamera is a world car, it's designed for German autobahns. It really shines at and is designed for speeds above 100 miles per hour. So it's too bad that US speed limits will make it legally impossible to experience these qualities.
If you ever do get the chance to take it to the track, for the first time in this class, all three models can be fitted with the optional Sport Chrono package. Using the system's launch control function, the driver can shave an additional 0.2 from each car's impressive 0 to 60 acceleration times.
New for the 2011 model year is a 300 horsepower V6 version of the Panamera to deliver the high comfort and fuel efficiency. This entry-level version is available as the standard with the rear-wheel drive or in the all-wheel drive option. We hope this helped to give you an inside look at what makes the Panamera a true Porsche.
You can see it offers all of Porsche's engineering with the space needed for today's sedan market.